This is Dolynny TV, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening and welcome to game number 3 as the Oilers Panthers set to do battle as we look forward to trying to get this job done at home against the Florida Panthers. It's going to be a big task for the Oilers, obviously down 2-0 this evening in the series entering action, and hey, got to see what we can do to turn it around. That said, I literally just combed the mustache a minute ago, so that figures that the beard would be getting me going itchy already. But the Oilers so far not so good in these playoffs. That's the easiest way to put it right now, is these Oilers need to have a much better response in game number 3 than they have had through games 1 and 2. They need to have a much better effort and a much better shooting percentage than they have had so far through the first several games of this series, simply because, I mean, you don't have wins. I don't care. Oh, well, it's been good enough. It's whatever. I was happy to take the moral victory after game number 1. However, there's no moral victories in game number 2, and the Oilers quite simply have to go out there and actually earn it tonight, or they are going to be in trouble. I will tell you right now, for those of you tuning in this evening right now, I'll tell you, sitting back at home right now, what I'll tell you is this playoff beard, this thing right here on my face, the hair, we got some other plans for that, but the playoff beard comes off tonight if the Oilers lose. Everybody following me? Everybody with me on that? Everybody understand where that's going? Everybody understand why? Well, maybe not. You haven't been around long enough if you don't remember back during the 22 playoffs when the Oilers went on to lose game 1 against Calgary. I shaved. I cleaned up absolutely completely. I just full-on cleanup. And basically, the Oilers went on to win 4 in a row. So what I'm looking forward to doing here in these playoffs, if the Oilers find themselves backs against the wall, one loss finishes it, we're going to clean shave a game ahead of schedule maybe, and go out there and see if we can't change the Oilers' fortunes like we did in 22. Again, what impact do I realistically have? None, but you kind of get where I'm going. Is it's just something to change the momentum if we get a chance to do it. But that's where we're at right now tonight as we get fired up for tonight's matchup. Obviously, Bobrovsky and Skinner, the likely combo in net for both teams. I believe Skinner is a go. I just haven't heard anything officially on there yet, as the Oilers and Florida Panthers will get underway here in, just about 6:20, so just about 52 minutes time until puck drop for the Oilers and the Florida Panthers here tonight as we look forward to getting things kicked off for Game 3 at home. But friends, it's been a rough series so far, as I'm saying, and the Oilers desperately need more out of every single player tonight. Stuart Skinner's obviously been pretty okay in these playoffs so far, up to an .896 save percentage in this series. I think he entered at .895, so that's good. And of course, they're showing some of Matthew Tkachuk whipping his head back there against a little shot to the jaw from Connor McDavid. So go figure right there. But yeah, we should be set up for what should be a very good game tonight. And obviously, hearing the Oilers fans versus the Panthers fans will be much more enjoyable of an experience. I will tell you, I sat back in bed kind of hurting after what had been an extraordinarily terrible 24 hours the day before. What was that? The Monday night the game was. And, let's just say a lot of stuff happened in between Sunday and Monday. And unfortunately, couldn't put everything together for a live stream on Monday. All right. To the chat we go. Linda, Rick, and RB, welcome aboard. And from Ryan's got a message here saying been aboard for a long while. Good to hear. And we finally got here, and we're playing for the cup. Yeah, that's the big thing. The Oilers are playing for the cup after all, and it's not a best of 3, right? The Florida Panthers haven't won nothing yet. It's a best of 7, which means the Oilers still have 2 more games to lose before they're officially eliminated, which, quite honestly, right tonight, if it doesn't go your way, it doesn't bode very well for the rest of stuff. But I think when you look at it here, you win tonight, the whole script flips. Now it's about winning Game 4, sending it back tied to Florida. And especially if you beat Bobrovsky bad a couple of times and put some doubt in the Florida Panthers, oh boy, it could get interesting pretty quick for the Edmonton Oilers. And of course, the healthy doubt that a lot of Oilers fans, including myself, have had in the Oilers this past 3 days is definitely going to give a little bit of fuel to the fire for the Oilers, as it usually always does. So I'm looking forward to that, seeing what the Oilers have for us. I know they kind of have choked in bigger moments in the past, but I don't know if that's necessarily going to be the case here tonight against the Florida Panthers. So they're showing a photo or a video or whatever screenshot of the Mootart Conservatory right now. That's one of the best buildings in Edmonton, in my honest opinion. That's one of the coolest places to be able to visit in the city. It's definitely one of the neater experiences, but you've got Our Lady Peace playing the festival at the final right now in downtown Edmonton as they're rocking out there right there. And Shania Twain goes on game number 4. She's been pretty much hanging out in Alberta the entire past 2 weeks by the looks of it. If you're in southern Alberta at all, you might have actually noticed Shania Twain around somewhere, because there's been a lot of photos surfacing of her hanging out down in Calgary, Okotoks, all that area. So we'll see, but they're really giving Our Lady Peace the royal treatment here for the pregame festival. You like to see that. I turned it up for you to listen to, but you think hockey highlights is copyright. Just wait until you find out about music on YouTube, my friends, as it is always an interesting go, that is for sure. But they're showing highlights right now of past Oilers players, obviously guys that have been here, won in the Stanley Cup final, whether it be the cup or a game, because they showed Smith, of course, and you know what that means. But as we go here again, friends, just quickly looking at things in the back end, I'm looking forward to seeing us have ourselves a good little stream tonight. I think we're going to have ourselves a pretty good go this evening, one might think. And as well, the Florida Panthers fans, we're going to have to combat that, because they are going to be out in full force. I don't know if you've been in the comments section of the past few videos, but Florida Panthers fans are out in full force on the internet, as best as anybody from Florida does. And it's been an interesting go, that's for sure, as they are riled up to try and make a difference for their team, or at least their team's perception online, not perception. As they got some highlights here of Corey Perry warming up for tonight's game. I believe he draws in. I believe him and Ryan McLeod will be on the second line alongside Draisaitl. We're about to get things going for warm-up here in a matter of a few moments, I believe. So we should have some something here in a little bit. Anything. Do we know anything here at all? I don't think there is anything to really know in terms of lines. Is there anything to know in lines yet? Just checking things over. First Stanley Cup final game in Edmonton since 2006. Yeah, that's for sure. It's special. This is where the big thing is, and unfortunately I'm not down there, but I'll be down there Saturday. Book it. You'll see me down there as we get going for the watch party. Win or lose tonight, we're gonna see what we can do to get down to Edmonton on Saturday afternoon. That's what I've decided, because obviously if the Oilers win and then lose game 4 and go back to Florida, it could be over before we come back for game 6. So we're going to take our chances and come on down for game number 4 to the watch party, hopefully the Moss Pit. That's what we're hoping for. We'll settle for whatever we can do. If we have to sit in a Boston Pizza somewhere randomly in Edmonton, we'll do it anyway. So Burton, welcome aboard this evening. Sandbox as well, and Joe, welcome in. So yeah, the Edmonton Oilers getting things going here in about 45 minutes or so until puck drop, as Our Lady Peace finishes up their performance to welcome us into the Florida Panthers Edmonton Oilers Stanley Cup final, where Florida leads the Cup Finals 2-0 after 2 games. And obviously we have the panel here getting us set for things inside Rogers Place. You got Kelly Rudy, you got Jennifer Botterill, and you got, of course, Kevin Bieksa alongside Ron McLean as we get set up for tonight's action, friends, here in a matter of moments. Matt will join us on the live stream, as he has a couple of times throughout the playoffs here now. He'll join us at an indeterminate time later, as he'll get things going for us when he gets here, of course, wearing the Crowfoot hockey jersey and trying to keep the streak alive in that thing. He's been a lot more successful in that than I have been in any other jersey I've worn, as Connor McDavid wearing an all-black suit here tonight, all black shirt, all black tie, to try and bring the business approach to game number 4 against the Florida Panthers as we get set up for what should be the most important game of the series. Obviously, if the Oilers jump back into the series tonight, we're all going to be talking about how important Game 4 was. So I'm looking forward to seeing that kind of get us going here towards what could be an important rest of the series, right? I mean, you have a chance to bring back the Stanley Cup to Edmonton. That's going to be a special time to be an Edmonton Oilers fan. So in terms of anything else here, I don't know what else to tell you here tonight. I think it's just full focus on you got to get the win, full focus on you got to go out there and deliver a performance, and you really got to show up and make sure you win for all involved tonight, or it's going to be a real problem for us going into Game 4, right? I think it's very simple. Again, like I said, if I do lose tonight, if we do lose, the beard, I'm shaving it off, and we're calling it a day for the playoff beard, and then we're going to go clean shaven for the rest of the playoffs and see if the Oilers can rally behind that. But I don't want to do that. I mean, I don't enjoy chewing on my mustache, but I also don't not enjoy seeing the Oilers win in the playoffs, so we'll see how this goes. Gord, welcome in, as they can't go back to Florida down 3-1. Well, that's if they go back to Florida at all. That's kind of the hard part right now, is the Oilers kind of have to go out there and win tonight first off, and then if they can find a way to win in Game 4, then you avoid the 3-1 stuff. But if you don't win tonight and you don't win in Game 4, there's no chance of going back to Florida, so got to get that job done, that's for sure. Matt, how far from Edmonton? Calgary area, down in Calgary. So that's where you gotta look on the map, and it's not that far really. It's about a 3-hour drive from Calgary to there, so not bad at all. As the Edmonton Oilers are going to be on my sights for Saturday afternoon. As we'll get down there, I think it's supposed to be 10 degrees here, and I think it's going to be 25 or something like that in Edmonton on Saturday, so I like that for sure. Magic, welcome aboard, friends. I haven't done this in a little while, but I'm looking forward to getting back on the live stream, right? Obviously, it's been since Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening we got the last live stream in, so we'll get the live stream in here tonight, and possibly what could be the last one of the last one of the season, straight up actually. So sorry, that just hit me like a brick wall right there, trying to think that one through. But yeah, this could be the last live stream for the 23-24 season for the Edmonton Oilers if all doesn't go according to plan. That seems crazy to say, but that is where we are at this current moment. So welcome aboard if you're just tuning in. I'm glad to have you as we'll get things set up here as we go along this evening. Like I said, Stuart Skinner and Sergei Bobrovsky, the likely starters for both teams. Florida averaging 3.26 goals per game. The Oilers have dipped below that, 3.20, as Sam Carrick and Evander Kane come out of the lineup. Derek Ryan, Corey Perry come in. So Kane's for sure out. He's been suffering with that injury, and he has now officially been scratched. Corey Perry, Derek Ryan coming in. Carrick's a guy that brings the energy, but not much else in terms of lineup presence in this stage. And obviously Derek Ryan's an exclusive penalty killer, so can't really complain about him. Florida, though, at 2.11 goals against average. That's where you really need to start cracking that number up a little higher here tonight. So, Daniel, welcome aboard this evening, as it is a Thursday in Alberta. Of course, for our friends over in New Zealand, Australia, and all that area, well, guess what? It's Friday already. Party time after this hockey game winds down. Margaret, welcome in, and Jay, welcome in as well. So we will see what the Oilers have in store. Obviously, I don't even think I can blame Stuart Skinner in the last two games. I know everybody's quick to blame Stuart Skinner for all the problems in Edmonton, but I'll tell you, if Stuart Skinner's your biggest problem in the first two games, you haven't looked at the entire picture of what Florida's A done, and B, how pathetically awful watching the Oilers in game number 2 truly was from an Oilers fan perspective. So, Bill, welcome in as we get things rolling in the chat here. Messages starting to come in fast and furious here this evening as we get things rolling towards, obviously, puck drop in about 40 minutes or so. Just obviously getting things fired up here, as well as Tom on ice for Connor McDavid. This series versus Sparkov has been higher, versus Ekblad and Forsling has been significantly higher than against anyone else. So Florida's done a good job matching up, and now the Oilers will try and match up a little bit differently here in this series against some different defenders and stuff for Connor McDavid. So we'll see where this game takes us, but obviously you got to see the Oilers kind of get things going in this game number 3 here early and often. Really, that's what it's going to take. Early and often, if you're not flying, you're going to have some problems right out of the gate, because the Oilers, if you're not up 3-0 after the first period, I don't think you win this hockey game, if I'm being truthfully honest with you. I just don't think what we've seen out of the Oilers in this series against Florida, that they're a team that can win this game 2-1. And that's not saying the Oilers can't, but they just don't seem like they have that ability. And the more you score, the better off I'm going to give you odds on winning. So let's go quickly here to make sure we get a message in to our old man Josh. Game 3, let's go. Let's do this, friends. Right? That's big need for this win here tonight. As this Oilers team obviously needs to do a lot of things right this evening to try and find a victory in the column. And they also need to do a lot of things that they haven't done so far in these playoffs, right? Is really dig out of a big hole, dig out of a series in which you haven't had much going on offensively, right? Is even when the Oilers were losing to the Canucks, they still seemed to score a bunch of goals. So tonight you got to score goals. You gotta play some defense. You really got to just go out there and do the job start to finish the right way, the proper way, the whole way, or else you're going to have some big time issues against the old good old the Florida Panthers, right? Sorry, they were showing some HVAC there on the old Rogers Place, and they were trying to show the dehumidity level or whatever on there. So Dalek, welcome aboard here tonight. I don't think big game's an understatement, because it truly is. But again, the bigger game is obviously Game 4, especially even if you win. If you win, Game 4 becomes all that more bigger than Game 3 ultimately. And that's kind of what the problem is going to be for the Oilers here the rest of the way home, is it just gets bigger and bigger by the game, because you win, obviously, hey, now you're back in the series, and now you go back to Florida 2-2 if you win 2 in a row. But obviously if you lose, you're down against death's door, I guess you could say, in this Stanley Cup final, down 3-0 potentially against the Florida Panthers. So there's a bunch to be said about Game 3, but Game 4 is going to be just as or equally more important than Game number 3. It's too much on the old brain to really try and process, and that's the beautiful part about making memories in the Stanley Cup Finals, is you just enjoy the ride while you can as we get things going. So Northern Farm Girl, welcome aboard this evening. Glad to have you aboard for another one, as we need to see the Oilers obviously come out and do a lot of things tonight, and one of those things would be giving it to the Florida Panthers in some sense, in terms of directing the game on the ice throughout the whole hockey game. So Tosti, welcome aboard, as well as the hair is just continuing to be a complete mess. I've almost pretty much given up on trying to do the hair properly at this point of the playoffs. I mean, I think all I did is wet it today and pretty much comb it over a little bit with some water. So that's where we are at right now. And Mark, biggest question of the night, I guess, will the Florida Panthers look for vengeance against Leon Draisaitl or just play hockey? Again, I don't think you have anything to worry about there, because simply put is everybody's trying to hurt everybody, whether it be intentional or not in the playoffs. So again, whether they're looking to or they're just going to take the opportunity when it's there, it really doesn't matter, because whatever edge you can gain, you're going to gain it right now. And if Florida wants that edge, they're going to go out there and grab it. But hey, that's not to be said that the Oilers aren't going to do the exact same thing as this game wears on too. So I know we're just as guilty as they are. Gage, where's Matt? Matt will be joining along here in a little bit, tuning in halfway through the pregame or somewhere around there. And Mr. Doom, welcome in. And we're getting everybody joining in here for the action tonight. As predictions for the game, like I said, the Oilers have to finish up 3-0 in the first period, or else it's more than likely a loss in game number 3 for us. So That's really my only prediction for you, is if the Oilers don't score a ton of goals in this hockey game's first period, it ain't going to look good by the time the final scores on Sportsnet at the end of the night. So that's what you'll have to look forward to, friends. The Oilers actually, for the first time all playoffs, quite literally have to score their way out of trouble, because you haven't scored enough to not be in trouble here at this point of the playoffs. So Gordon, welcome in. As we continue to rock along here, friends, first chance to check the watch time early on tonight's broadcast, just as we try to, again, gear towards the grand total of 10,000. We're already up over 12.20 hours watched on the stream, so we continue to get close to that 100 before puck drop. We are still a solid 34 minutes away from puck drop this evening, so plenty of time before we get the puck dropped. Again, if you're just checking in, Stuart Skinner likely to start for the Oilers, Sergei Bobrovsky likely to start, confirmed actually, for the Florida Panthers. The Panthers, who have won 14 games in these playoffs on the back of Sergei Bobrovsky so far. Friends, give me just a moment. I need to answer a work call. That weren't no work call. That was a let's go Oilers, friends. The Edmonton Oilers. Everybody's calling me, getting the texts in, all the everything. I like that. All right, friends. We are geared up now. Obviously, when I'm getting phone calls to pump me up about the Oilers game while I'm live on stream. That's a new one to me, but hey, I like it. The Oilers should be able to get this job done here tonight, as Gage is saying, because Matt's going to be on. Matt's going to be wearing the Crowfoot jersey. We know that has been very friendly for the Oilers winning hockey games so far on stream, so I'm looking forward to seeing this one. So the Edmonton Oilers obviously now just about 32 minutes away from dropping the puck this evening. Everybody's out for warm-up behind the panel at Rogers Place, so we're getting geared up for what should be a good hockey game tonight. As Christine, you're welcome in, as we all see Avery join the chat as we get things rolling towards that puck drop at 6:20. Again, that's what I haven't mentioned. I keep telling you what time it's at. It's a 6:20 puck drop tonight, so we got a long ways to go before things get going. As planned departure for the flight for Florida on Wednesday was 1 p.m. Takeoff was 4:21 p.m. Flight time was 5.5 hours. Arrival 10:05 p.m. and hotel arrival 11 p.m. Eastern. So they've been in Edmonton for less than 20 hours prior to getting on the ice for warm-up, thereabouts. So we'll see what the Oilers kind of have in store for us, given that Florida might be a little tired, right? I don't know, maybe not, who knows, but hopefully for the Oilers you can figure it out here in this one tonight very well, whether it be a tired Florida Panthers squad or whether it be an Oilers squad that just, no matter what the other team's doing, you're going to go out there and dominate tonight's action. But that said, for when Matt gets here, I should go grab myself a Pepsi quick. We know that's been a key to success as well throughout the playoffs, so let's get that done. And then, potentially at some point in that first period, maybe grab dinner as well, as we're smelling things from upstairs right now. But here we go, friends. 70 of you aboard for the ride as we continue to get towards puck drop tonight. I, for some reason, just staring out in the sun all day today. As you can see, I don't know if you can see how red parts of my face are from the weekend there at Ball. Hey, by the way, forgot to say that, buried the lead a little bit. The Crossfield Pirates won the B final in the Pete Knight Days tournament, playing 8 games or whatever it was throughout the weekend. It was a crazy go, but Pirates did it. We got the job done. I played 7 out of 8, all right. Casual 7 out of 8 because I was here on Saturday live streaming the game for you. But we end up winning B final and going out there and doing a pretty solid job of it, I guess you could say, right? A pretty solid victory to ultimately just have a good weekend, right? That's what it came down to. It was a solid, awesome weekend to hang out with the team. We had some awesome subs. who absolutely crushed the ball for us and crushed the fielding. And now we set up for a new week next week after missing last night's ball game due to being down there in Gleason for the Gunners Bronc battle, as that is always a yearly little thing I like to sneak down to Gleason for and hang out and do the old other side of this whole YouTube stuff. So, all right, friends, the Edmonton Oilers getting underway here around 6:20, so right about half an hour to go before we get this going. So Matt on stream, pizza delivery around second period. Go down the list, Matt. That's just it. There's a whole bunch of things on the list that we need to go right here for the Edmonton Oilers this evening, and I think we're going to be just fine to do the job as we look forward to getting this hockey game up and underway in a matter of, I don't know, about half an hour, right? So we're almost there. So, yeah. Again, like I said, this is just, I really don't know where to go with this one tonight. I think the Oilers should win. I think the Oilers can win. I think everything should go according to plan, but it's just, there's a little bit of built-in nerves. You're down 2-0 in the Stanley Cup final, right? I think that's a fair enough assessment of trying to put together the whole story here in game number 3 is just, you're just hoping. You're just hoping on a whim that the Oilers can find a way to win a hockey game tonight, or it's not going to look very good the rest of the way home. So that's where I think there's a whole lot of work to be done tonight, and then from there the Oilers need to go out there and build on that in game 4, especially if you win. Go out there and build and just start running tide in this playoff series. But in these finals, I mean, momentum is everything, and I know there's lots of days off between games, but you can carry it over, that's for sure, especially if you have Sergei Bobrovsky doubting himself, though he's not really a goalie that's known to doubt himself very much over the course of his career, other than maybe one regular season or playoff situation where Spencer Knight kind of took over for a little bit there, or whoever it was. Yeah. These Edmonton Oilers just about set for action here tonight, friends. The broadcast 8 minutes away from flipping over to the game cast, I guess you could say, where it's actual Hockey Night in Canada broadcast stuff. Right now it's Hockey Central on Sportsnet, keeping us up to date with all things Edmonton Oilers here tonight as we continue along towards puck drop. I think big thing tonight is just kind of getting towards that real big finish, I think you could say, right? I think it's one of those situations where the Oilers, if they can find a way to bring us home a victory rather emphatically at the end of the stream, it's going to be a much better finish than it potentially has been the last 2 games. I could not imagine streaming game number 2, especially if I was struggling with things the way the Oilers were struggling with things there for sure. So, that's where we'll have a chance here, friends, for a moment to check in on the Moss Pit and see what's going on out there. There's a whole bunch of people out there, and Ken Holland hanging out with David Amber and Elliot Friedman and talking things over with the 2 hosts in arena for the Sportsnet crew. Trying to make out what Ken Holland's saying here as Ken Holland's in his 5th and likely final season as Edmonton Oilers general manager. Of course, there's been rumors of him moving on to one place like Columbus, I think, is where he's rumored to be going alongside Don Waddell at some point here over the summer. And obviously the Oilers' interest in Mark Hunter, interest as well in a couple of other potential candidates. I think Patrick over on the Oilers Fanatic has had all that for you so far throughout these playoffs, kind of keeping you up to date. So be interesting to see now how it all plays out for the Oilers in the off season, especially win, lose, or otherwise here in these Stanley Cup finals. But as we continue along here, just to check to see if we've got a lineup for us tonight, the Oilers ran a different pair of set of D4s on the 4th time through. My eyes could have deceived me though. Desharnais might be out in a 12-6 lineup. What else do we got going on here? Is there anything else? We've got Ekholm, Bouchard, Nurse, Broberg as a pair. So Nurse and Broberg as a pair. And, you've got RNH, McDavid, Hyman, McLeod, Draisaitl, Perry, Janmark, Henrique, Brown, Holloway, Ryan, and Fogel. So The third line is going to be a key factor, right? You don't have McLeod at center. You've got your ultimate third line center for the team, and you need to get this job done here from the top 3 lines tonight. Obviously, if you get a 4th line goal, good on you, but from there else, it's going to be interesting to see how this all plays out. Lauren, welcome in. JJ and Jack, welcome in, and Brandon's throwing down the broom already. Well, it's a dangerous situation, only up 2-0. Again, if you're up 3-0, I get it, but it's kind of exactly what the Canucks fans did to themselves, build up this huge, immense hype for how easily they were going to destroy the Oilers, and then the Oilers cleaned up shop in game number 7. So I'm not expecting the Oilers to not be capable of that here in the Stanley Cup final. Solomon, welcome in, and Code, welcome in as well. Rocking your Oilers gear here in Colorado. Always loved Edmonton. Well, thank you so much for representing south of the border tonight. Upcycle, welcome in. Going hard tonight. Yikes. Well, I will tell you the barbecue part of that sounds good, but other than that, I'm hard out on all that. But yeah, a little bit of barbecue tonight would sound like a good plan. I think I got some chicken frying up right now as we speak, as we get set up for this evening's hockey game here in just about well, 24 minutes to go until things get set up for tonight's hockey game officially with puck drop. Warm-ups still underway out in Edmonton right now as we look forward to trying to get this Oilers team a victory here in game number 3 of the playoffs, as Ken Holland concludes his interview there on Sportsnet. Now all of a sudden you got all the fans here across Ice District Plaza, everybody chatting it up before this game officially gets underway, as of course Nate joins back in. And Nate, I mean, my man, you sit here and troll all you want, because you're spending all that watch time with us, does the live stream great things, so I appreciate the time spent, and we'll see where this one goes this evening. So yeah, I'm gonna fly down here. My goodness, it must actually be truly summer already if the flies are flying around the basement as we get things rolling towards, friends, the 6 o'clock hour, as everybody's sitting here and saying the Oilers 3-0 tonight. We like to see that. Let's also go see where we go to this one right now. Right now we are sitting on a grand total of 25.88 hours spent on the live stream so far tonight. Like to see that. As what is going on here? That's a big buzzy fly, friends. Thing's whipping around, and I think he just flew off, so we're good there. But yeah, Magic, see, we got some extra Oilers love. Yes, yes we do. And cousin Vinny joining the chat as well, sitting here getting those. Oh my goodness, everybody getting the brooms ready. Well, I'll tell you, that is not gonna vote well for how things played out in the Vancouver series, right? I think it was pretty quick. The Vancouver Canucks fans wanted to jump to conclusions. I think Florida Panthers fans, based on my readings through the comments section, is pretty much how it's played out. Florida is replicating the Vancouver recipe for disaster, and I'm loving every minute of it here so far in this series, and I can't wait to see. Hopefully the Oilers rise to the occasion tonight. Like I said, I actually expect them to disappoint us on home ice. That's why I'm saying if you're not up 3-0 after the first period of this hockey game, we're going to have some big issues this evening against the Florida Panthers, but we'll again see where that all goes. G, welcome aboard. And yeah, we're rolling in here tonight to this one as that fly returns again, buzzing around, hanging out, trying to get the lights going, but here's what it is. As I really don't have much to beat that fly out of the air with. I don't have a fly swatter down here. That's the word I'm trying to look for right now. But yeah, friends, we are waiting for this one to get this hockey game up and underway tonight. Obviously plenty of time to go before then. It's 6 o'clock. Pepsi's ready to rock and roll, and we're going to get things going for game number You betcha. 3 for the first time here tonight. Again, if you're just tuning in, Stuart Skinner, the confirmed starter for the Oilers. Confirmed starter is Sergei Bobrovsky for the Florida Panthers. The Oilers averaging 3.26 goals per game. Oilers 3.20. 2.11 goals against for the Panthers. This is where this really got to change tonight. The Oilers got to get that above 215, 216, 217, 218, 220 sometime tonight. And as well, the goals against for the Oilers has to come down below 270 this evening with a 2-goal or less against performance, or else we're going to be in big time trouble. So, Space, welcome aboard. As the Stewart died tonight, well, I'll tell you, problem is you lose tonight, it's really do or die in game 4. So that's where the old appearance of do or die tonight would be a massive get for the Oilers. Spencer, welcome aboard this evening. Actually just followed up exactly what I was saying there. And am I able to elaborate on why we need to go up by 3 goals by the end of the first period? I'll tell you this, if the Oilers are not up by 3 at the end of the first period on home ice with this crowd, with everything that's been talked about game 3 and how important it is for the Oilers, I don't like our chances. That's why we need to go up 3. I just do not like our chances one bit at all if we do not find a way to go up at least 3 in the first period. So that's just me. And of course, if you run up 3 against Bobrovsky in the first period, that looks pretty good, doesn't it? That's good optics, I think. So look forward to seeing that. So yeah, we'll see where this one goes. But yeah, for right now, the Oilers obviously have to show up and put up a big-time performance. One thing they need to do is shut down Evan Rodriguez, who's been flying high, scoring a couple of goals in the series so far. That's one thing the Oilers have to take care of, is stopping him from scoring a bunch of goals tonight. And then everything else kind of kindly, smartly, nicely takes care of itself. All the on-ice policing and stuff will happen, no doubt about it, tonight. Of course, you'll see some greasy plays, I'm sure, as you always do in the Stanley Cup Final. And from there, we'll figure it out as we continue along into the later stages of game number 3. But friends, that fly is going to drive me nuts all night, I promise you that, as we get fired up for this evening's action, as we've got Robert Clark holding up the microphone one last time as part of the pre-game intro. We've got now the Sportsnet Hockey Night in Canada intro as we get fired up for this evening's action, showing off some highlights for the Oilers. Of course, Evander Kane and Sam Carrick are out of the lineup. It'll be Derek Ryan and Corey Perry inserted back into the lineup for the Oilers this evening. As yeah, we'll see obviously what they can contribute for us tonight. I think what you could expect, especially if McLeod and Perry are playing together, which is I think what I read there. Isn't that what I read there? Yeah, McLeod and Perry playing together with Leon Draisaitl. I think you can quite honestly expect them, that line at least, to score the first goal of the game, as they did against Dallas in game number 4, when all that question marks was answered for us at that moment. So yeah, we'll obviously see how this all plays out. But the Stanley Cup Final presented by Rogers, ready to bring us into action. About 11 and a half minutes to go before the Oilers and the Florida Panthers sing the anthems, and then obviously bring us home for tonight's action as Kyle Bukauskas brings us inside Rogers Place from a different angle as he gets fired up to, obviously with the big old hair. That's kind of how I used to wear my hair when it looked normal, more or less. But now all of a sudden this thing's out of complete control. I don't know, for those of you, and I got 160, so somebody's got to be of the age range I'm talking about. If you've ever played Pokemon Pearl, Diamond, and Platinum, you know what I'm talking about. Your rival in Pokemon Pearl and Platinum there that has the hair exactly the way I got it going. I saw a photo, I don't know where, on social media here the past week or something, but yeah, that's what reminded me of that. So that's where this hair kind of takes me back to right now. As showing some highlights here is Sam Gagner. What's Sam Gagner doing out there hanging out? Hey, Gagner getting some wheels going? Talking about maybe hanging out with Joey Moss back in the day. Yeah, I think that's what we're talking about right now. As Yeah, let's see where the Oilers take us in the next 10 minutes, friends. We're about 10 minutes away from puck drop. Obviously, it is, of course, just about to get underway here tonight. The lineup again, yes, confirmed in-house: McLeod, Draisaitl, and Corey Perry. I like to see that. And we've got David Amber and Elliot Friedman once more talking things over on the side panel of the ice. As Lou, good evening to you. And what else do we got here? Mark, who's in? Perry and Mr. Derek Ryan. Derek Ryan comes in for Sam Carrick, so it's Fogle, Holloway, and Ryan on the fourth line. I like that because that should be a lot of that should be a lot of hope for the Oilers to have a fourth line that can kind of speed you, skill you, penalty kill you, and obviously hold their own 5-on-5. So yeah, the Edmonton Oilers, we'll see what they can do for us this evening. Obviously, there's plenty yet to be decided in tonight's action, and the Oilers definitely still very well have to stand up, or else we are going to have some problems, that's for sure. If the Oilers do not step up tonight, we are going to have some big-time problems against these Florida Panthers. As we continue along in the pregame show, friends, I'm just trying to get there as teams winning the Stanley Cup down 2-0, 5-for-49 as this is inconvenient for all the Canucks fans watching right now. The last team to come back from down 2-0 is the Boston Bruins against the Vancouver Canucks in 2011. Yeah, that's embarrassing enough, and then you had to burn down your own city, Canucks fans. That's yikes. That's not a good look. Not a good look at all. But yeah, that's what we'll see what can do. Is Boston obviously blew it apart and found a way. There was 3 shutouts in the last 4 games of the series. 5-2 for the Bruins was the only game in which the losing team scored a goal. As we'll continue along here, friends. Kevin Bieksa now talking things about these Vancouver Canucks of 2011. Bieksa would know them well, being a member of that team, as I get the old Family Guy Fry Cook voice out there for a brief moment. But no, Family Guy, Simpsons Fry Guy voice out. Game 2 chances for the Oilers. Grade A, 1 chance. Grade B, 1 chance, and then obviously Grade C, 2 chances. So they need to get this going here, as the Oilers desperately need to step up. As we got a Troy Stetcher fan in the chat as well here, saying first time commenter, but I want to say I've been watching for a couple of months and love the content. Well, thank you so much for being aboard, friends. Anytime I see that comment come in that you've been watching for a while and you haven't yet hit the comment button, that is always appreciated, right? There's 16,000 plus of you that are subscribed to the channel, and there's quite possibly no way I can remember every single person along the ride of the past 10 years, but it's always nice to be able to acknowledge that first comment if I get a chance. So they're showing some highlights here of Zach Hyman in front against Oliver Ekman-Larsson, and really Hyman not getting much at all. But yeah, I gotta really hand it to Bobrovsky. That man knows how to flop around in the crease. That guy, as soon as he sees contact coming, he's falling over, no problemo. He is diving with the best of them right now. Just trying to call that goal back against Zach Hyman when he eventually gets one in this series. You don't think Zach Hyman's going to be held without a goal here in this first 4 games. And I'm not expecting him to win us the series, but you got to think with Hyman in that front, he is a good enough guy to score enough goals there that he could be a difference maker if the Oilers do indeed win tonight. So, Brad, welcome aboard as we continue to get things going here tonight. Toast joining in the chat as well, as we're continuing towards the old 50-hour mark here on the live stream this evening. As oh, how about this? 45 hours already on the stream, so we're almost to that 50-hour mark. We're at 6:09 on the old broadcast here, as we're watching Our Lady Peace once more rock out for the show outdoors at Rogers Place. They're trying to make it look a little bit more full than I think it is, but obviously never a bad time to be able to catch an Our Lady Peace concert as Canadian rock heroes, quite honestly, as we go to commercial break. And friends, with that, let's quickly take a look here to see if we're missing anything in the back end of the stream. I think we're looking okay. I think we're pacing along here tonight. I will tell you right now, if you need a little pregame entertainment, because I'm kind of not quite on the top of my game yet here tonight, waiting for Matt to get here, and obviously as well waiting for my voice to pick up here in just a moment for the play-by-play. If you haven't already checked this out before, I would encourage you to do this here, as that would be a comment there from me to check out a little video I just redid the thumbnail for here recently. Oh for a rip, as the Oilers obviously have to come out oh for a rip tonight, right? I think oh for a rip would be a good way to put the theme of the night. You have to show up and definitely rip up the Florida Panthers defensive zone quite a bit. So here we go. What do we got? And yeah, Matt's going to be late, but he will be here. He's just leaving the city, so he's going to be a little late, but yeah, it'll be okay. We'll get him in here when he gets in here, friends. It's still on commercial break. See, this is the other part too. They talk about having this expansive pregame show, right? 50 minutes of pregame, and well, it's kind of tough when you're really not getting more than about 20 minutes of pregame and you get about 30 minutes of commercials on the old Sportsnet broadcast. They're showing the moss pit filling up here outside Rogers Place. They got the big screens going loud and proud inside Ice District right there, as they've got the television screens all around. And we go back to the panel here quickly, so we'll see where this goes. So yeah, they're showing the Oilers fans inside the building now. We're at 6:12, so we are just about set up for tonight's anthems, and then we will get things going as Oilers fans are cheering loud and proud inside the building. They're getting Gustav Forsling down the tunnel, Tarasenko there as well as Luster-Reinen down the tunnel. And now this is kind of where this all comes together. Santa Claus is in the building tonight for the Edmonton Oilers, pulling out all of this stops the Oilers ticketing agents. My goodness, if you get Santa Claus in the building, you're doing pretty good on a big old Thursday night. They got McMullet back, of course. Oilers fans with big old orange hair. You got the backup goaltender coming down the tunnel for Florida. And we'll see where this goes. As Bobrovsky's coming down right now for the Florida Panthers as we get set up for this evening's action. Friends, we are about to roll out game number 3. So we're going to see how this goes. But that is deafening right now. I'm just going to turn that up for you. That's Oilers fans. Friends, that is full-on building noise. You like to hear that in the background of the live stream right there. If we could just have an entire night of that, that would be absolutely fantastic. Hey, we got to bring it here. This is game 3. You're down 2-0, and you got to find a way to win this series here tonight against the Florida Panthers, as we get a whole bunch of flags waving and stuff in the crowd, and obviously the energy is just rip-roaring. They're still, like, listen to this. They're still going. They're still going. This one will be the Edmonton Oilers. Game 3. Looking for the first victory of the series. As McDavid skates to the bench here. So like I said, it will likely be Draisaitl, Perry, and McLeod that start on the ice for the Edmonton Oilers, at least to begin the hockey game. And then, of course, we'll see what the other lineups look like here for the Oilers on the defensive end. I haven't been able to get that on anywhere on social media, but we'll figure that out here in a minute. As, yeah, this is just a bunch of fans trying to get their signs seen in the stands. That guy's got the old Pit Vipers on inside the building. That's commitment to the cause, I will tell you. Is those things are tacky, but is what it is. As we're seeing highlight footage here of 2006 right now on CBC Sports, coming out from underneath the old aerial derrick, as Oilers fans obviously bringing the noise back in 06. That much is for sure. Just amazing how grainy that footage looks nowadays. This will be an opportunity again to welcome the Oilers to the ice and obviously get us fired up for game number 3, as there's McMullet getting things going. As that man is an absolute legend. If you haven't had a chance to listen to McMullet's story, definitely you got to do it, because my goodness, it's an incredible one. As we go here for a whole bunch of shots of Rogers Place, they are really showing off the crowd in tonight's action, and somewhere in that sea, I'm sure, is Robert Clark ready to sing tonight's national anthem for the Edmonton Oilers. As there's flags waving, there's fans in the building, everybody's fired up to be in there tonight. Obviously the festival at the final outdoors kind of thinning out a little bit, and the Edmonton Oilers ready to get this job going for game number 3 against the Florida Panthers. The Panthers looking pretty stoic on the bench, obviously ready to do this. There's some Florida Panthers fans in behind the bench there. Is that the Florida Panthers fan that had his shirt off the last game? Probably. Young little guy. As you got Alexander Barkov being introduced prior to the game. So he is indeed in the lineup. Evan Rodriguez also in the lineup for the Florida Panthers. And then you got as well, looking on the back blue line there, Nico Mikkola for the Florida Panthers. And then we'll see where this one goes, as this will be Brendan Montour as well. So there you have it. You're liking to see the lineup there starting the game. And on the right wing, left wing, I don't even know where these guys play for Florida. I don't really care. I just want to stop seeing them score goals. Sam Reinhart on the line for the Florida Panthers, as Sergei Bobrovsky gets introduced here as well for tonight's action. He's got a pretty good strong facial hair going there, and I will tell you again, friends, if you missed the messaging early on in the live stream tonight, if the Oilers lose this evening's hockey game, I will actually be shaving the beard 1 game ahead of schedule, simply because the last time I shaved my beard during the playoffs, while the playoffs were still on, we went on to win 4 straight against Calgary. So just saying, let's do it. Let's see what we can do and get this going. As Corey Perry on the ice right now for the Edmonton Oilers, as the Oilers fans kind of lose their mind. Good to look on us, as here's Brett Kulak being introduced as well for everybody, as things are looking good, as the Oilers definitely need to show up here tonight. Draisaitl on the ice, like I said, he will be out there with McLeod and Perry at least to start tonight's actions. As this will be now an opportunity to introduce Ryan McLeod, who's got some pretty patchy old facial hair going there, but he's looking forward to getting into the fight and going out there and getting this job done here this evening. So, yeah, this is where we also have a chance to introduce Cody Ceci. So Kulak and Ceci will play together. And we'll see what we can do here as Stuart Skinner in net for the Oilers to begin this pregame. Is this the big part? We are actually going to start delayed tonight. It was supposed to be a 6:18 puck drop, but instead the anthems will get us delayed by a few minutes here tonight, as we are scheduled around 6:20. Instead, we're going to be around, I don't know, 6:23, 6:24, somewhere in there, at 6:19 currently on the broadcast. So here we go. Time for the United States National Anthem. But first, the land acknowledgement from Chief Willie Littlechild as we get set up for this evening's game on Treaty 6 territory. As obviously we are about to get underway for game number 3, hoping for at least 6 or 7 here the rest of the way home. So let's get this going, as we've got a situation now of just a moment before, and then all of a sudden we'll be doing the anthems here as we get things going. For Robert Clark to sing us our anthem here tonight, or do we have a different anthem singer, at least for the first little bit? As I think we were going to have, of course, the sign language interpretation up on the Jumbotron. That's what I was missing there. Here's Robert Clark in the middle of the crowd, getting set up to sing tonight's anthem. Of course, we are getting things going here for this evening's game as Robert Clark brings us home with the first anthem, the United States anthem, the Star Spangled Banner, as we get things rolling towards puck drop here in game number 3. Oh boy, I'm looking forward to it because this is going to be a good time. It's Cody Ceci, Ryan McLeod, and Leon Draisaitl on the ice together. And we'll see what they can do. Is Connor McDavid on the bench? Obviously, will jump over at his earliest convenience to bring us into action here tonight. As we continue along as well, we're going to take a quick moment to check the watch time here as we finish up towards puck drop. I think we're going to fall short of the 100 hours before puck drop, but that's all fine and dandy. We are going to finish at 70 or so hours on the stream prior to puck drop. Not too bad at all as we get things going for a shot of Sergei Bobrovsky. And next is O Canada as we look forward to bringing this one home in a matter of the next few minutes. So we have an opportunity here for a pause and O Canada to begin this action here as Robert Clark brings us home with the first few tones, and then he's going to hand it over to the crowd here in just a second. And then let's do this, friends. Oilers Canucks game. Oilers Canucks. Reading this goof's comments. Let's be serious here. Oilers Panthers in a matter of moments as the Florida Panthers obviously now have to sit through the Oilers fans singing the national anthem. Here is Leon Draisaitl, Brett Kulak. Like I said, they're on the ice here. They've got a shot of the referees in behind. Draisaitl. Hey, you know what? Good move by Chris Knoblauch to put him out there early, right? Hey, if the Florida Panthers are going to target him right out of the gate, you might as well give him the opportunity to do it immediately, and that's what the Oilers are going to do here. So this is an opportunity with just moments to go before this hockey game to listen to the crowd bring it home one more time. Yeah, see all that noise in the background? Love to hear it. The Oilers fans ready to bring the heat for game number 3 as the flyover over top of Rogers Place. There's the old CF-18s from CFB 4-Wing Cold Lake getting us going for the action tonight. Again, I'm never 100% sure how that actually breaks down. You know, a guy who's spent as much time in Cold Lake as I have would know that, but that's more of a specialized question nowadays. They seem to change that up every few years. So, Sergei Bobrovsky in net for the Florida Panthers. 202 goals against average, .916 save percentage here tonight. Entering action as Stuart Skinner, 11-7, 251 goals against average, .896 save percentage for Mr. Stuart Skinner. You'd like to see that boost up this evening as this one will be Barkov taking the opening face-off against Draisaitl. So this will be a face-off now at center ice as Draisaitl just takes his time getting on in there. He's going to dance around a little bit before puck drop, try to mangle his way in there a little bit here as we get towards the puck drop for tonight's action. As I can't seem to get the hands comfy here on the broadcast, but everybody's jumping up and down here in the stands to some degree, getting ready for this game to get underway. Draisaitl still taking his time. We're at 6:24 on the clock, so we are going to drop the puck literally at 6:24. 4 minutes delayed, but everybody's getting things going here as the referees are talking things over. Everybody at center ice there talking over the lines, and now all of a sudden we'll have the puck dropped between Barkov and Draisaitl, and let's engage the mode here as the puck is down. Barkov wins it back. Perry tries to scoop it forward. Instead it comes to Ceci Kulak over to Perry, and it'll be tipped into the Florida zone, into that near side corner. Florida reverses off the end wall, trying to tap it ahead along the near side. Ceci crashing down. Puck's poked out to the middle, and there it goes into the Oilers' end from the Florida zone as Ryan McLeod quickly back to retrieve, leaves it there for Ceci. He takes a big hit and starting back the other way. The Oilers in on the attack. Here's going to be across the line. Chip charge shot there for the Oilers as Kulak, I think, just kind of fired that in behind the net, and the Florida Panthers will bang off the boards and out to center ice. And that's Ryan McLeod throwing possibly his biggest hit of the playoffs so far, eliminating his man from contention here as this puck comes now behind the boards. And well, behind the net at least, and off the boards as it comes back to center ice. Bouchard frees up McDavid right in front, shot high, save by Bobrovsky. Good first chance there, and that's one of those things the Oilers have to find those open lanes. Bouchard did, and this will be bounced off the boards. Tkachuk fires it into the Oilers zone. Playing there is Mr. Stuart Skinner. Skinner will tap over to Ekholm, up along the boards and out in his center ice territory, picking up Zach Hyman across the Florida line. Tap back into the neutral zone. Picked up now by Broberg, who's out there with, that Nugent Hopkins, I guess, out there with one Evan Bouchard as Mr. Zach Hyman leads into the zone against Ekman-Larsson. Can't get there in time. Florida banging up off the boards, tipping into the middle of the ice, and here come the Florida Panthers against Broberg as he will kind of fire up along the boards, tie up the puck, trying to get in there was Adam Henrique, fired up off the side of the net were the Panthers on the near side, and Stuart Skinner's able to hold up the puck. So there you have it. And that was a good little keep in by Bouchard at the line and freed up McDavid right in front. That's a good old grade A opportunity, and McDavid just couldn't quite elevate that puck enough against Bobrovsky to get it up over the shoulder. Good little save there with the collarbone. 2 goals, 19 points in his last 9 home games for Connor McDavid in these playoffs. 18-16 to go in this first period of play. Bobrovsky already with a save, so too Mr. Stuart Skinner with a save as we have a delay, an equipment delay, as Luosterainen will try and get his helmet worked on here. Looks like his helmet snapped off as Henrique will go back to the point. Fired down low now by the Florida Panthers off the face-off win. Rolling around in front, tipped off of, I don't know who that hit in front, whether that be Nurse or Broberg, but somebody got hit in front with that puck and it hit Skinner, as that was a big old save for our man in net. That was a big tough one right there as it bounces off in front as that goes off of Broberg onto Skinner. That goes off his skate, Broberg's skate that is, and then Skinner tries to cover up as the puck was bashed up against him. So here we go, 18:06 to go in this first period. Tied up, face-off 1. Kulak firing out into the neutral zone, bouncing nicely into the Florida end as Ekman-Larsson absorbs contact from Janmark. Henrique trying to play this puck, freed up Connor Brown across the line into the neutral zone, unable to handle it as CC will try and play this up off the wall, but we will have an offside as Connor Brown's playoff beard is absolutely incredible. So quite a difference first 2 games. The Cup final, 32 shots for the Oilers, 19 in Game 2. Brutal, 70 shot attempts, 47 slots. It just was an absolute pathetic effort there from absolutely pathetic effort for the Oilers in game number 2. As this is going to be tipped out into the neutral zone. The Florida Panthers coming back the other way. Mikkola behind the net here as he will fire up off the boards and try to get it out as it'll be fired down into the near side corner. 1 goal on 51 shots last 2 games. This will be fired out into the neutral zone all the way back to Kulak in his own end. Up off the boards. Panthers kind of bobble a pass. And this one's going to be coming back now into the Oilers zone as this will be CC going off of a stick onto Bobrovsky. Okay, see, this is where the watching on TV thing kind of sucks, as this will be into the far side corner. Bennett will push this one down low. The Oilers reversed along the far side wall. 16:55 to go here as Broberg bounces up off the boards and into the middle of the ice. The shot loads up, and that was a heck of a save there from Stuart Skinner, as that's a good looking goal. So Stuart Skinner with a big old save to begin tonight's action as that one was bounced up off the boards, and then Tkachuk just kind of was able to get to that puck and free up for Hagee with a kind of off the circle shot, and Stuart Skinner thankfully swallowed that one up. So 16:48 to go here in this first period. Face off 1 back to Broberg. He bobbles it up through the middle of the ice off a skate of the official. This one will be picked up now by Leon Draisaitl as he leads through the middle of the ice. Draisaitl across the line, down to McLeod. Draisaitl into the corner, spins off the check, and here comes pinching Darnell Nurse And then back into the middle of the ice. Reinhart taps it there for Barkov across the line. Florida Panthers 3 wide. Shot save made by Stuart Skinner as this one goes to the far side boards. As Broberg will tap this one along as this will be picked up by the Oilers. Perry slashes it out to center ice but failed to do so. And Rodriguez behind the net will look to make the pass in front. Threads it through for Reinhart. Just couldn't get it quite through as this will be picked up. Tipped to the blue line, but the Oilers just struggling to get the puck out here. And McLeod's taken down, and now McLeod wants a piece of the guy. And we're going to have an offside at the line. This has not been the effort I wanted to see from the Oilers here so far tonight, as this has been an yikes from the Edmonton Oilers, at least to begin this hockey game, as Skinner's had to make some tough saves. And big part too, Florida is controlling the game so far. So Perry's talking things over with the referees, and the Oilers desperately need to get in gear here, as Corey Perry's still talking things over with somebody on the ice. I don't know if that's with Tkachuk or what. But Nugent Hopkins, McDavid, and company out there right now, so they're trying to match up McDavid against Bennett and Tkachuk, as this will be a face-off, one back by Florida. Ekholm's going to fire out in the center ice. Shot fired down into the Oilers' territory. 15:48 to go as Ekholm will reverse around the boards to the far side. McDavid in stride, chops it over to Bouchard. Bouchard looking along. Hyman looking to make this play back to the blue line as Nugent Hopkins throws a hit. Back the other way. Nice play by Tkachuk, and Nugent Hopkins or somebody has taken a penalty here. And we got 15.5 to go here in this first period of play. And Nugent Hopkins will head to the board or box. I don't even know if I can do this. Quite honestly, the absolute anxiety of the Stanley Cup final is killing me here. I don't know where the penalty is there as Nuge kind of steps into him, but yeah, that I guess you're just not allowed to do that unless it's Connor McDavid, but that's okay. Penalty kill's been good, but obviously the Oilers have to wake up here. A shorthanded goal would go the longest way possible as Tkachuk in behind the net to the far side. Looking back in front, Verhaeghe's taken down, Reinhardt's taken down, so blatant trip on the play, and then Derek Ryan looks at the referee and says that's not a penalty. So that's interesting right there, that we just got away with a trip in the middle of our own zone. So this will be Barkov to the far side. Across the line, the shot loading, blocked in front. Buck 28 to go in this power play in the first period. Shot fired towards the net. The Oilers get in front, and we'll flip it on down the ice. So this will be Nurse going off for a line change. Kulak as well is in behind the net now. The Florida Panthers pick up the puck. 1:10 to go in this first period power play as this loads up with a 14:38 still to go in this first period of play. As Tkachuk across the line over to the far side, down in the near side, McLeod battling along the wall, gets it free in the neutral zone. Loading up, Bobrovsky there as Verhaeghe will start back the other way. Verhaeghe across the line, turned back by Fogle, and here comes Connor Brown in on a short-handed breakaway. Brown fires, shot saved, made by one. Here's Brown again, elevated, had the corner picked, and missed wide of the net. Oh, two good chances for the Oilers here on the penalty kill, and this hopefully momentum building as this will load back across the line. Bennett forced to the outside, Tarasenko to the front, couldn't force it to the back of the net. Now back to the point. Here's now a shot. Ekman Larson blocked in front, shot down low, pass through the slot, far side, shot ripped, save made by Skinner, and this one will come down into the Florida zone to kill off the penalty. So here we go. This will be over to the side, the Oilers' territory. Picked up by Florida. Fired somewhere out of play, and we will have a stoppage in play. That was a dang good penalty kill for the Edmonton Oilers right there. I'll tell you that much. That was a stellar kill for the Oilers all told, and obviously resulted in keeping the game 0-0. We're going to have a bit of a commercial break here, friends, and I'm going to send you a quick commercial break back home as well, as we look for some stats so far in this hockey game. So far, the Florida Panthers winning 66% of the draws. They've out-hit the Oilers 5-3. They've outshot the Oilers 4-3. And, the giveaway is 2-1 in favor of the Oilers. Takeaway is 2-1 in favor of the Florida Panthers. So things have not looked good so far. But, quite honestly, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get this whole game under me. I am struggling here to try and keep my focus and try and keep the emotions in check, as this is a pretty big game, friends. This is a pretty big game. So we'll see where this one goes. But we'll take our time. We'll at least get through this first period here tonight and see what we can do. We got a couple of chances here to just watch some commercials again. This is the other part too, is just give me the hockey game, you know? Like all these commercial breaks and the pregame, everything just disrupts the flow. But those two chances from the Oilers on the penalty kill there, desperately needed. But you desperately needed to come home with a result, I think one might say, right? I think you needed to find a goal in one of those two chances for Connor Brown, and you weren't able to get the job done, unfortunately. So we'll see how it all gets done. As Chris Knobloch obviously getting some support from his local town. Good to see. And for some reason my eye is just itchy as itchy gets. But face off down inside the Florida zone. This is tough. I haven't even been able to gear up yet in this game, just simply because, quite honestly, I'm a nervous wreck. I'm a lot more of a nervous wreck than I thought I would be tonight, as this will be Florida flipping inside the Oilers zone. Bouchard around to the far side. 13 minutes to go in this first period of play. Florida fires the shot. Forsling over the far side, blocked in front. Forsling will see it come back into the neutral zone and then fired down inside the Oilers territory, as the Oilers also making a sleepy effort here so far this evening, is behind the net. Florida got the turnover and then turned over the puck, and starting back the other way is Draisaitl and McDavid. McDavid to the front of the net, shot fired wide. This one will come back into the neutral zone as Bennett across the line. Shot fired up over top, as this one continues to go here, and a shot in front. Stuart Skinner makes the save. You like to see that, so that's good news for us. And 12:21 to go in this one, as McDavid will get things going here, and that one off actually the glove of Bobrovsky there, as this was a good little shot there for him, as that was good save by Mr. Stuart Skinner off the skate again of Darnell Nurse. Tough go there, as 12:21 to go in this first period of play. 7-3 the shots for Florida. That's just tough. 12:20. Come on, guys. We got to get going here. Is this a face-off one forward by the Oilers? And this is going to be carried ahead by the Oilers' most active player so far outside of Connor McDavid, Connor Brown. As this one will be to the far side. Shot fired up over top of the net. Blocked in front by somebody. Back to the point now. Broberg is going to come down the right wing. Broberg around behind. Ooh, nice little skating move. As the shot down low off the end wall, picked up, wraparound opportunity, shot fired up over top of the net by the Oilers as Broberg gathers up. This is probably Broberg's best shift outside of his scoring effort for the Oilers, and I don't know if the Oilers just took a penalty there. This will be a pass over for Broberg. 11:39 to go here in this first period of play. 7-6 shots, so the Oilers have started to respond here. They got to keep the gas down as Nurse and Ceci are back out there together once more, and watch out, disaster may hit here as this one comes up off the end wall. Kulikov off the far side boards to the near side, loading up now across the line. Lorentz fires the shot, save made by Stuart Skinner. Is a big hit into the end wall there by Kulak. freed up the puck near side for Holloway to turn over, and it's forced back behind the Oilers' net. As Skinner will go across to Holloway. The shot fired up off the wall. Lawrence back in behind the net. 10:57 to go here in this first period of play. Back to the blue line as Ekman-Larsson fires down low, and this will be to the far side. Holloway gets there first with the hit. Erased with a hit, and this just the Oilers can't get the puck out here, and that's a big old problem if you are the Edmonton Oilers. So shots down inside the Florida zone now. 8-6 now, the shots on goal for Florida. 10.5 to go in this first period across the line. Barkov again to the attack. Dipsy Doodle the one-timer opportunity, a wild shot. And now here come the Oilers back the other way. Hyman across into the Florida Panthers zone. Big hit there along the wall on Barkov. Kind of jolted him along the boards and then separated him from the puck. Bouchard rips the shot. It's blocked as Nugent Hopkins backhands down low. Picked up now by Barkov, up off the glass and out of play. And we'll have a stoppage in play here in this game. Or is that going to be a penalty? Barkov threw it right out of play, and I think the referees nailed him with it. So we're going to have a power play for the Oilers with 10:05 to go in this first period of play as Nurse fired a shot off the end wall. And then Janmark with the wraparound opportunity in the secondary chance. And then the Rents as well down the left wing, firing the shot on Skinner, making the save. Kind of handcuffed him there, and then Barkov, just sends it right up over top of the glass and out of play. Tricky little deceptive play up off the glass, but couldn't quite get it to stay inside the rink. Because we'll have the face-off down, back to the blue line now. Picked up by Bouchard along the far side wall. Oilers power play getting to work. The Florida Panthers just diving in the lanes here. Right in front, McDavid off of the far side. I don't know if he hit post or skate there on Bobrovsky, but the first good look at the power play goes wide. McDavid back now. Bouchard looking to get things going. He'll hand it over to McDavid. McDavid skating. The shot fired down low, up over top of the net. And this one will come up and out of play with 9:35 to go in this first period of play. As it's been a heck of a period. McDavid off the toe of Bobrovsky. You are kidding me. So Oilers have gotten a couple of good chances here, but couldn't quite buy it on the first half a minute of the power play. As this will be Draisaitl with 32.8 seconds, or 32.8% on the power play. That's my bad. As this will be a far side pass. Now the Oilers power play setting up with 9.5 to go in this first period of play, as that's blocked in front off of Nugent Hopkins. Bouchard back to the point. McDavid looking, spinning. McDavid will roll around and look down in the near side corner, back to the blue line. Bouchard loads it up, hurts the man in front. He's blocked the shot. Bouchard again through traffic. Fires it wide of the net at 97.5 miles an hour. He got all part of that puck. This will be flipped up through the middle of the ice. Carving in is Nugent Hopkins, spinning off the defender. Nuge looking to go back to the blue line to Bouchard. 50 seconds to go in the power play. 8.5 to go in the period as Draisaitl winds it up. Save made by Bobrovsky. And Draisaitl just did not get a hold of that one properly with 45 seconds to go. The Oilers all of a sudden just starting to shoot the puck and starting to come up with the results. As Florida's Ekblad obviously made that first block, and then it was a block in front right here off of Lundell that made the difference there on the power play. And Draisaitl just doesn't get all of that puck, and Bobrovsky able to make the save. 8:50 to go in this first period of play. Face off down inside the Florida zone. Tied up off the draw, comes back down low for Mikkola inside his own end. Shots fired along the wall. The Oilers able to keep it alive as this comes to the near side boards. Draisaitl picks it up now for McDavid. McDavid spins off the check as he'll roll near side wall. 27 to go in the power play now. As McDavid winds up a slap shot, had some open ice and couldn't hit the net. As that'll be fired down low behind the net now. Draisaitl charging against Kulikov. Trying to battle that puck free. Florida will clear it. And that'll do it for the power play here for the Oilers with 8:15 to go in this first period of play. Nurse behind the net. 0-5 on the clock here as McLeod picks it up. He winds up to the far side. through the middle of the ice, cut off there, and here comes Florida back the other way. Florida across the zone, shot far towards Skinner, went wide. Puck goes flying in the far side corner off the dasher boards. As Bennett back in front. And this is McLeod rolling up through the middle of the ice. Here is McLeod across the line over to the far side. Perry loads up the shot. It hits a skate and it's blocked in front. It's going to be Tkachuk over to the far side. Verhaeghe down the right or left wing, right wing, whatever you want to say, depending what side of the ice you're on, I guess. Zach Ekman Larson across. Shots fired, blocked in front, and I just feel like an emotional wreck right now, to be honest with you. My right eye is actually watering up right now as I just don't know what is going on with me. I just can't seem to handle the old emotions. Caving under pressure here. This is across the line, tipped in, 7:10 to go in the first period to play. Brown right in front, taps it there. Rodriguez picks up the puck. Rodriguez to the near side. And this will be CC across the line against Barkov. And we'll have an offside right there. Peter, welcome aboard. I don't know what is going on here, but I am struggling to keep the emotions in check here tonight. Everything is just flowing. That's for sure. The fears, the anxieties, the excitement, all that about the Stanley Cup final is really starting to hit home here for the first time in these playoffs. That this is a moment that could really detriment the Oilers here for the final time in these playoffs. So, oh boy, yeah, is what it is. Up over 125 hours now on the stream though, so thank you for hanging out here this evening. As we're rolling along this evening into the later stages of this first period of play. Obviously, too, the Oilers need to get the job done here at some point. I said need to be up 3-0, and right now they're not rolling much of anything. It's a 0-0 score thus far, so yeah, we'll see where we take it, but the Oilers need to find a way to score some more goals here, or we're going to have a problem as this game goes along. So, well, we continue to wait for the game to come back. Obviously, like I said, the commercial breaks are absolutely killing me here in these playoffs, and for some reasons they continue to just almost seem like they're getting longer and longer and longer at this point. As that's another commercial break here for us, as you've heard me complain about it all series long so far. As we got a flashback here. As what are they showing? Is this Sam Bennett here? No, that's Evan Rodriguez actually. Showing off some highlights there. First Florida player to record 2 goals in a cup final in game 2. Okay, there you have it. As this one will be a face-off. Off the draw, back into the Oilers zone. 6:50 to go. Here's the puck comes around on the near side. CC off the wall now for Brown. Puck's fired up over to, I think, Kulak, and now Brown's going to come away with the puck and tip it into the Oilers offensive zone. He comes to the puck on the far side wall. And this will be picked up by Florida. Barkov along the near side, fired to the middle of the ice. 6.5 to go. And that will be a stoppage and play due to the icing call. Flipperdew welcome in as Max missed as well. As we will have a stoppage for the icing call. Connor McDavid immediately jumps over the board. Zach Hyman as well. Everybody trying to get this job done here in this first period of play. 0 goals, 30 shots by forwards in the last 2 games, so they need a forward goal here desperately. Barkov's caught out there on an icing, so interesting that they'd match up McDavid against Barkov here, but obviously they didn't feel like they wanted to go to Drysdale and Crew, as this will be back to the blue line. Ekholm, the shot blocked in front. We'll have a stoppage and play, and Evan Rodriguez will reluctantly go on to the bench here after blocking that shot. As I know he'd like to try and keep shutting down the McDavid line, but that was a big shot off the ankle there from Matthias Ekholm. The Barkov line goes for a line change here with 6:25 to go in this first period of play. Sam Bennett will come up and take the face off. It's Gustav Forsling here against McDavid and company as it's fired out into the neutral zone. Ekholm bats it off the wall into the neutral territory. Picked up now, fired into the Oilers zone by Florida. Spinning off the check there, the shot fired. Florida fires the shot up over top of the net. And this is Florida getting bullied in the inside the Oilers zone, but still continuing to keep the puck alive. 6 minutes to go in this first period of play as Bouchard picks it up along the near side wall. Rolling up now, Connor McDavid. Coming through the middle of the ice. McDavid cutting in, trying to get to the front. Ekblad keeps him to the outside. Good edge work there from Mr. Aaron Ekblad as the puck comes free now back to the blue line. Here's Bouchard over to the far side. Slot shot pass for Mr. Matthias Ekholm as Bouchard knocks it down at the line. Can't get it past the Florida Panthers. And this will be picked up again. Fired in on the Cats by the Oilers with 5.5 to go. And Ekman-Larsson touches up for an icing call. 8-8 the shots. As, obviously the Oilers trying their best to get pucks on net. McDavid's been flying, but has been unable to solve Bobrovsky so far in these playoffs. Face off inside the Oilers zone. It's drawn up for a scramble. A man's pushed off the draw immediately. That was McDavid. Oilers come away with the puck through the middle of the ice and shot in by the Oilers, where Bobrovsky will have to hold that and obviously handle that as well for a whistle right there, as Zach Hyman took a pretty nasty chop at one of the players there for the Florida Panthers, but just couldn't quite connect. This is Montour talking things over, and Montour might be heading to the penalty box here by the looks of it. Montour kind of grabs up, and then I don't know what the penalty is, as we will have a chance to go to commercial break. So there you have it, a stoppage in play there for both teams as we head to a quick commercial break in the middle part of the late stages of the hockey game, and obviously what's been, for the most part, a very dry game so far in this one, as we'll see what the Oilers can kind of figure out here as this game goes along. So Oilers changes, Ryan, Perry, and everybody, of course, and then Kane, Carrick, Desharnais comes out. So this is where the Oilers have to score on this power play. As we'll see how this goes. But sorry friends, I don't know what's going on with me today, but the emotions are absolutely getting the best of me, as this has been an emotional one. Just for the simple fact of how much it means, and obviously going down to Rogers Place on Saturday to either hang out in Ice District or maybe sneak into the arena if tickets are dirt cheap, who knows. But the Oilers need to figure this out here tonight on this power play right here, right now, or else we are going to be in trouble. It's slashing for Montour. Where did he get the slash on Hyman? He slashed Hyman on the wrist, I guess. So they kind of caught him trying to be cheeky there, and the officials obviously catching kind of one of the greasy plays that we always talk about from Florida. Again, I'm not too upset with that one, but I guess make a stand where you will, just like they did with the knees in game number 2, as this is Bouchard loading up in his own zone. The power play is 5 for 29 in its last 12 games, so 1 for 6 effectively, as this is going to be McDavid across the line, back to the blue line. Draisaitl skating past, Draisaitl over to McDavid, back to the point, as this was back now for McDavid, down low. McDavid sees it cut off there. Draisaitl spins off the check. Back to the blue line, Bouchard. Near side now for Draisaitl, jammed in front as the Oilers are not getting anything of substance towards the net here. Is this an opportunity near side dot for Draisaitl? He's going to rip the shot, blocked in front, and this is I don't even know what the point is. You might as well put the fourth line grinders on the power play here. We ain't solving this Florida Panthers penalty kill for some odd reason. As Bouchard back to the blue line over to McDavid. McDavid spins off the check there. McDavid back down low. Pass behind the net. And this has been a tough display. Here's Bouchard over to the far side. 4 minutes to go in the first period. Shot fired towards the net. 49 seconds remain in the power play. As here's Draisaitl down near side for McDavid. McDavid back to Draisaitl. Draisaitl spins back to the high point over to Bouchard. Bouchard now back to McDavid. McDavid back to Bouchard, but the shot comes now. Save made by Bobrovsky. 94 mile an hour for Bouchard. 27 seconds to go on the power play. 10-8 the shots for the Oilers. McDavid spinning to the outside. Back to the blue line. Bouchard over to Draisaitl. Saves made as Draisaitl couldn't even raise the puck on that one. And that will pretty much do it here for this power play as Draisaitl tries to rip it back to the point. And this will be spun back down behind the net. Ekblad to the far side. Cut there. Save made as the Oilers keep it on side. Here's Hyman battling it now near side for Draisaitl in front. Save made by Bobrovsky as time expires here on the power play for the Edmonton Oilers. But tough go. And that was a good looking shot for Bouchard. Just a last second kick from Bobrovsky. And the shot tapped in front. McDavid just couldn't bang it home. But yeah, that's a tough finish on the power play. 3:10 to go in the first period to play. 12-8 the shots on goal for the Oilers. And still no goals in this hockey game. Face off inside the Florida zone. Adam Henrique wins it back to the point. The shot fired down low off the end wall. This third line needs a goal here tonight, but instead it's going to bleed a chance back the other way for Florida. Quickly turned back by the Oilers defense of Darnell Nurse and Philip Broberg as Sparkov to the near side, dribbling in front. Picked up now, Brown to the far side, loading up Broberg. Broberg across the line, down low, Janmark along the wall. Can't get there to that puck, and it'll be flipped out by the Florida Panthers. Back to the blue line. Loading up again. Broberg across the line. Dribbles it off the skates of Mikkola for Brown near side. Brown back to the high point. Brown over to the far side. The shot through traffic misses wide of the net as this one hits the net somehow. And Bobrovsky's diving in the crease, of course, as always. And the referee literally looks at him and says, "Get up." 2:12 to go in this first period of play. 0-0 the score between the Oilers and the Florida Panthers. As this is Kulak in behind the net. Kulak battling along behind the boards, looking for a pass over to the blue line. Doesn't get there. $1:59 to go now in the period as Holloway to the far side as Montour takes a jolt. And this back along into the high point. Holloway is going to jam that shot along the end wall. Fogle with the puck near side. Ceci has it along the near side corner. Is this battling here, trying to keep it alive, and this will not come out of the corner clean. Although it comes back to the point, the shot fired, rebound in front, save made. Bobrovsky's on the puck, and there's a scramble in the crease here, and Bobrovsky is down on top of that puck, and there's a pile up in behind the net. There's a battle there. Fogel's got a man as everybody tangles up here. Kachuk's got Kulak, and of course Kachuk's throwing his head back, trying to draw the call against Kulak as per usual, but wow. It was a good little scramble behind the net. $1:29 to go in this first period of play. And where did that battle even start? Yeah, Bobrovsky can't be falling over. That's, wow, this is a tough look if you're a professional goalie in hockey and that's how you're acting. But Ceci just about took that one for a ride. And, oh. Hey, I'm not yawning. I'm literally just trying to gather myself here. This has been, it's been what it's been so far. $1:29 to go in this first period of play. 13-8. The shots for the Oilers in this first period of play. Trying to patiently get to where we need to be in this hockey game's first period. By the end of 20 minutes, the Oilers hopefully controlling the shot lead and the goal lead as well. As they're talking over the penalties, it will be 4-on-4 for both teams. And what do we got here? We got a little showing highlights of the melee behind the net as Derek Ryan kind of ate one from Matthew Tkachuk, and then Brett Kulak came in. And yeah, Kulak got a pretty good punch in there on Tkachuk, but of course he's looking immediately for the penalty as well. As the Turtle guys are back in action. $1:29 to go in this first period of play. And the Oilers have to find a way to score here. That's really all it comes down to. You got a $1:29, and it's going to be 4-on-4 the rest of the way home in this period. And you got to find a way to score a goal here with Draisaitl and McDavid grouped together, as this one will be. Back to the point for McDavid. McDavid rolling through over to Bouchard. Bouchard turns it over to Barkov. Barkov back the other way. Barkov along the wall, gets spun off. Barkov over to Forsling. Forsling fires the shot, tipped home. Florida leads 1-0. Yep, that's where we're at. 1:02 to go in this first period. The Oilers, I mean, that first 5 minutes, they didn't have much, and that's where we're at right now, as Florida's fans aren't really even celebrating that goal too much. Must be a delayed feed. But that was a tough one to watch, as I mean, Reinhart just had his head up the whole way, put his stick down, and put it into the back of the net. So, yeah, tough goal. I mean, it's really nothing much. I don't know, but it's a pretty innocent looking play. But there we go, face off at center ice, loads up the Oilers for an attack back the other way, across the line now. This is going to be Broberg taking the jolt. 47 seconds to go, 4-on-4, and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins is going to roll up here at the point. Just closing in here, and the Oilers to the near side, and this will be Broberg here getting going. And we've got 18 seconds to go down the wing. McDavid's going to get going past the middle, cut off there, and yeah. I don't think I can do this, friends. I mean, as much as I'd like to say I'm just going to power through and get this job done, I ain't got her tonight. I know I ain't got her, and I know when I ain't got her, I'm usually candid to say something stupid. So I'm gonna can it for tonight. We're gonna go down to Ice District and party our butts off. Game 4 on Saturday. But thank you so much for being aboard for the ride tonight, friends. I can't handle it. So we're gonna cut the stream here. Hope the Oilers come back. Obviously, it's only one goal. We're not worse for wear, but I just can't sit here and sound absolutely monotone the rest of the way home in what is absolutely frying my absolute brain cells here tonight. So thank you so much for being aboard here tonight, friends. We will catch you probably live from Rogers Place.